Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to this webinar, Help My School is Blocked by Cars, by Mirva Ilmoniemi. My name is Frederike Demmes, and I'm the moderator of today. And first, I would like to say welcome to our presenter, Mirva Ilmoniemi, and of course also to welcome to our participants. We're happy to see that we have a very diverse public again, as in all webinars of allinx. You come from 11 different countries and even from Korea and Argentina. So it's good to see that the presentation is going to be spread on the world. So that's great. Let me first introduce Mirva to you. Mirva is working for Helsinki Region Transport, HSL, and that's a public transport authority and also responsible for implementing mobility management in the metropolitan area of Helsinki in Finland. The main target is groups of HLS mobility management and workplaces and schools. Mirva corresponds for the services of schools and early childhood education, but she's also involved in almost everything in the field has to offer, both the operational work and well as in the service development. She has education on business polytechnics and environmental management and a long work experience on the public transport services. She's still children and she has enjoys to do in her spare time outdoor activities like bicycle trips or cross-country skiing. Mirva, the floor is yours. You can start with your presentation.
Thank you so much, Frederike. Hi all. Hello to everybody from snowy and wintry Helsinki. We have now enjoyed 2 weeks of surprisingly early first snow and nice weather here. First of all, I would like to thank allinx for this opportunity to have this webinar with you. I'm glad to present our school and nursery travel plans and our school visitor transport tutor. Helsinki Region Transport, HSL, is transport authority for the capital region in Helsinki, in Finland. There are 7 member municipalities and around 1 million journeys are made every day by public transport. In the HSL area, there are schools both in busy city centers and in rural areas. There are schools where the share of active and sustainable travel is high. Most elementary schools are located near the home of the children. But there are also some schools where many children are being taken to school by their parents, by their private cars, and that causes problems. School travel plan is an action plan for schools that concerns safe, active, and sustainable schoolways. Travel plans have been made for schools in various regions around the world. In Finland, this is something quite new. We learn our travel habits young. A mobility plan encourages people to safe, eco-friendly and healthy ways to travel. Our transport choices make a difference. Transport consumes energy and generates emissions. Walking or cycling to school improves physical condition and concentration at school. Public transport users also take up to 2,000 steps more a day than those traveling by car. The aim of a school travel plan is to reduce the number of car trips on journeys to and from school, to remove the barriers of walking, cycling, and using public transport for school journeys, to increase the understanding of all the different travel options, to increase the understanding of the benefits of active and sustainable transport, as well as to increase the share of active and sustainable modes of transport on the way to school. The school travel plan has many benefits. To mention some, there are less cars and congestion around the school, safer walking and cycling routes around the school, healthier, more active pupils, families, and staff, less pollution around the school, more accessible school site, and good reputation for the school. In Finland, the school travel plan suits the Finnish educational plan well, which is good for good. There are connections to school subjects like physical education, health education, nature and environmental education, geography, math, social studies, art, mother language, and etc. The school travel plan includes learning outside. In Finnish educational plan, it is important from time to time take the children out of the classroom to the neighborings. It also gives the children the much needed opportunity to have an influence on things that are important to them. In the plans, there is also interaction between the school and the parents. In the schools, if the schools have sustainability plans, such as Eco School Green Flag, the school travel plan completes those plans well. It also gives good ideas for School in Motion wellness program about exercise on home to school journeys.
Mirva, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
In what way who's the initiator of the school travel plans? Is it because the schools ask for it, or is it because you think it would be useful for schools?
Well, there is from our point of view at the moment, we are promoting this school travel plan. But there is also a big demand from the schools. They are really, some of them, they really need help. So sometimes they are in contact to our planners, for example, those who plan public transport, and from that we have the connection.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And do they need to pay for this?
The schools don't have to pay for this. I will come to it later.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes. For the schools, this is from us. This is free. Yeah. And what do we offer for the schools? HSL has written a step-by-step guidebook to making a school travel plan and writing a document. Also, we have a guidebook for preschools and nurseries. It's now available and was recently introduced to nursery teachers and other professionals. Both of the travel plans include a web survey, and HSL also gives a certificate for schools that have made a travel plan. In English, the certification means good school journey will take you far. These are, I have the documents here if you want to see. These are the books, guidebooks.
I see a few questions coming. Ilmar asks, have you analyzed the results, the outcomes?
Yes. We don't have that much. I will tell you later what kind of things the schools have done, but we haven't not yet got the data from one survey to another. We haven't made the follow-up plans yet we are
But you will be.
such in yeah.
Okay. And another question from René. He asks, what are the most important barriers for parents to your sustainable transport? How do you cope with these? Because how do you convince?
Yes.
Yeah, what's the barrier for parents to use public transport or walking, cycling?
Yes, there can be dangerous schoolways, for example. They can really be dangerous, so that there is not they are not walkable, or it's not safe to cycle the schoolway, and then the kids usually get a free public transport ticket. But anyway, some of the parents then anyway want to take the child to the school by their private car. And then also, in most of the cases, the schoolway is school journey is quite short, but sometimes it can be very long. If there's a special school, for example, that gives special education on music or languages or art, for example, then there's also always different kind of transport issues to cope with.
And it is also, I mean, for example, I need to go by car to work, and I need to drop off my kids, so I have to go by car, or else I have some time problems, because I've also got some travel time.
Yes, and then the parents think that they are doing something very good when they at the same time, when they by themselves go by car to work, and then they bring the child also to the school, even if there's nothing wrong with that, even if the schoolway is short and safe, and then they just use the car because it's they think it's a nice thing for the child, but it's not always like that.
No,
it
it
can
isn't.
cause problems. Everybody does that, or too many. Yeah. So we try
Okay.
in
Yeah. And Anna asked the questions, which one do the plan at the school? I don't understand your question. Anna, maybe you can type it again. And Antonian asked the question, do you make an accessibility study or survey during your school mobility plan?
Yes, I will come to the studies and surveys very soon.
Yeah. Okay, then
I will explain who will do, which are the people who do the plan at the schools. I will also explain that very soon.
I'll stop with the questions. You can go further with your presentation.
Yes, I think I'm glad to answer them, but I'm quite sure that my presentation will answer to many of the questions as well. So there are 8 steps in the school school mobility plan. It all starts with the definition of the school transport and mobility problem. What are the main problems that have to be solved, and what has to be improved? That's the first question. Secondly, who belongs to the action group? This is, I think, Anna Backlin's question. Action group is a group of pupils or students and a responsible teacher. That can be one class or something else. It has been very different kind of groups of pupils or students. Also, some parents or a school property manager, and for example, a traffic planner of the area can be asked to join the group if needed. Then the third question is, what kind of roads lead to our school? The action group coordinates a web survey and other research to find out how the school journeys are made and what they are like. All the children or young adults are asked, how did you come to school, or how do you usually come to school? And that's and sort of questions like that. Is your school way safe, or that kind of questions. And then after the research, the targets are refined. Is the original goal still valid, or do we need to focus on something else that came up as a result of the research and survey? So not only the web survey is made, they are also doing some research. So they, for example, go for a walk outside the school building and see what the schoolyard is like, and make that kind of notes then to the plan. And then, of course, all the to achieve the goal, the action plan, the action team prepares the mobility plan. And of course, all the good mobility plans has to have a marketing plan too. Everyone should know about the plan in the school and outside the school, so the students can be really creative on this marketing of the plan, and that's usually they find it very interesting. They are very keen, do very creative things. And then step number 7 is where the implementation of the plan starts after all the preparations, and all the best ideas will finally turn into action. Then when everything is done, there will be some looking back, what went well and what could have been done better. When will be a good time to make a follow-up plan? Usually we recommend to make a follow-up plan after 1 to 3 years time, depending on what kind of actions the school has made. And then HSL gives a certification for the schools in Helsinki region that has accidentally pressed the button. The schools that have drawn up a mobility plan, and they have to be engaged in promoting sustainable transport, so then they can apply for the certification. In English, it says the sentence means good school journey will take you far, what stands on the certification. Today there are 18 schools that have that certificate. And HSL has a partner school program for schools that are interested in making a school travel plan. The program gives special guidance for up to 10 schools a year. The program has existed since 2014, so this year is the 2nd season that we have this. The partner program helps a group of pupils from each school to prepare a mobility plan for home to school journeys, and our specialist visits partner schools and organizes around 6 workshops around the school travel plan, so they get a lot of help. In addition, HSL's transport tutor visits the schools and gives classroom lessons on transport issues and home to school journeys. And there's here you can see how this partner school program goes. The schools that are interested send their applications on February. After that, the selection of the partner schools for the next school year are made. And then on March, there are meetings with partner schools, principals and teachers for making sure that they know what the project is all about, and about and we want to engage them to the program. And after that, then comes the web survey, and the web surveys are made before the first actual workshops. All the pupils and staff from the school will respond to the survey on how they travel to school. Then there are around 6 meetings or workshops for preparing the mobility plan. In each school, there will be at least one mobility project during the school year. And then finally, after the school mobility plan is finished, there will be a final meeting with celebrations where the school gets their certificates and HSL get feedback from the schools.
Mirva?
And yeah.
But I think that after the celebrations, then starts the real work, because then you need to you want the parents to act and use the sustainable transport, I believe.
Yes, but sometimes we already see some preliminary results when the celebrations, when we have the final meeting, because the project has started in the autumn and it lasts all the school year. So sometimes the children, the pupils tell us that they already see the changes. And of course, it's very important to, because this is a kind of project. Of course, this is going to, we want the schools to go on with this action, but we want also to show that the project is finished, that you did a great job, and of course, it's time for celebrations.
Yeah, and I mean it's not. What if a school wants to join, for example, in October? Then the program already started, so they really have to wait until March.
Yes, this is our partner school program. Of course, the schools can do their own mobility plans in whatever way they wish. They can do it in a shorter amount of time, but this is what we recommend. It takes, the first survey is made in the early in the spring, or then early when the school year starts in September, for example, and then there we follow up the following spring.
Yeah, and what's the reason that there's a maximum of 10 partner schools? Does it have to be with people who help with the program and the actions?
Yes, that's how we have counted that. That's how much effort we can put on this. And then, of course, we want to, these schools that are attending our partner school program, we want that they are the examples for other schools. And we would like that the other schools would make these travel plans by themselves, of course. So we give them good examples with these outcomes that we get from the partner school program.
Okay. And René asked the question, in what way are parents engaged with the mobility plan? I mean, the mobility plan is more made with the school, of course, and the working group probably, but
yes, well, I will show you the next slide. There is, for example, what the schools have, what kind of travel plan projects the schools have made. Of course, there is some information that is brought to home, but also when there is there may be, for example, there's the schoolyard plan and improvements. For example, the parents can ask to join to make the improvements together.
So parents are most of the time involved on the moment that they fill in the survey, when the action period is planned, or when the projects are really activated.
Sometimes the surveys are answered at home with the parent, especially if there is small children answering to the survey, and of course the outcomes are brought home as well. So we'll know what kind of results did the school get from the survey.
Yeah. Okay. And I also see a question from Antonin. He asks, at the end of the mobility plan, do you have an obligation of results? I mean, you describe what the goal is, but is there also an obligation? Do they need to?
No, not in our model. We don't have an obligation of results, but at least they have to make some kind of project. All of the results we cannot measure. I believe so, that there can be some results that cannot be shown. We cannot measure them with the first survey, that follow-up survey that we make. So we haven't made any obligatory.
Okay.
Yes. And here's oh no, I will go back to the some example of the projects. There are campus bikes influencing public transport planning, schoolyard plan and improvements, media contest and travel safety exhibition has been made, car-free day, campaign promotion, campaign promoting the use of an underpass. That's a big safety issue, that the kids don't want to use the underpass, and the kids, in this case, the kids were given candy when they used the underpass in the campaign days. There has been breakfast arranged for those who come to school by bicycle, and then there you can also see a picture of a reflex that the school designed, and they also had a theme day for traffic safety. That was a senior high school, and then sport week has been arranged. Those are all the ideas that the action group together comes up with, and they have been very, very good and nice. Then, to give you a better picture of what has been made in Helsinki area, here's a timeline. From 2010 to 2011, there was a project for HSL was a partner in this project that created a proposal for a school travel plan program for Helsinki region schools that included benchmarking, England especially, and then there was a pilot with 10 schools. And then when we really started this, doing this in HSL, it was 2013. We ran a pilot with 3 schools, and we made our own version of the guidebook, and that was kind of like tested in those 3 schools. And then 2014, we saw that we have to make two different kind of versions of the guidebook. for younger children and for older children, because they don't want to read same kind of text. And so now we have different materials for elementary school and high school and vocational schools. Then this year we made materials for preschools and nurseries, and then we piloted with one kindergarten. And then about transport, about the transport tutor. HSL's school visitor transport tutor gives lessons in schools where different ways to go to school are talked about. The school visitor also gives useful tips for using public transport and encourages to walk and cycle. After the lessons, pupils are more prepared to use public transport. They have good knowledge about how to behave in public transport vehicles. They are more aware about the effects of different travel choices, and they know how to make their journey in a safe and sustainable manner. That's the goal. Our school visitor transport tutor has reached 3,100 children and pupils or students this year. Transport tutor visits also kindergarten, as well as gives senior citizens and immigrants practical travel training, so that schools are not the only group that is trained. These lessons are free of charge as well. And HSL has cooperation with Central Organization for Traffic Safety in Finland and Association for Traffic Safety in Helsinki, because the common things that we want to talk about to children. And together we have held lessons and arranged happenings as well. So we have come to the end of my presentation.
Okay, thank you, Mirva. I see a question from René. He asks, is the guidebook also available online? And especially, is it available in English? But
in English, unfortunately not. In Finnish and in Swedish, yes. Here you can see the link to the materials in Finnish. There are some Swedish attendees here, so I could have written also the Swedish link there. Maybe I can send it later if somebody is interested to the Swedish material. But they are there online, yes.
Okay. And Ilmar asks, did you produce your own materials, or are they existing ones that were translated?
We benchmarked other countries' materials, but we made our own versions.
Okay.
So they are not translated exactly. You know, we have made a lot of. They are very different. Yes, not very different, but that might be differences to other countries' versions.
Yeah. Okay. Anna asks, who is the financer of everything?
HSL, Helsinki Region Transport. So the 7 municipalities are behind HSL, and we have financed almost everything. We have had some support from the state when this was in the beginning.
Okay, and Mario asks, how do you get parents to come to meetings with the transport tutor?
Well, parents usually don't come to the meetings with the transport tutor. They are held in school. Those lessons are held in schools, and there are the school children who are listening. Sometimes there are some happenings that transport tutor is attending, and then there are also the parents. Sometimes the school asks HSL to come to school when there are some information evenings to parents, and then of course transport tutor can go there.
Yeah, but am I right that the focus is more on the children, on informing them about the possibilities of public transport and cycling and walking, more than that you try to get to the parents?
I would say so that the children are our main focus, but we want the message to go also to the homes.
Yeah.
Through the.
Yeah. And do you also ask the parents why they choose a certain, why they use the car, for example? What the reason is that they use the car? Is it just because they're lazy, for example, or is it just because of, for example, work that they need to go to?
Now, if I go back to what I said, well, when we have this this guidance for small children, the nurseries, there we talk, where there the survey is made so that it is the parents who answer, and then we try to speak to them, the parents, and then we also ask why they use such transport they do. But then in the schools, it's the children who answer.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah. And of course, it's a good stimulation to use the children to come to the parents. I mean, that's what you're trying to do, of course. Yeah. Yes. Okay. Antonin asks, would you say that school mobility plans are mainly a communication coaching?
Oh. Communication coaching.
I mean, it's more a communication program in that way that you inform children about the different options and.
No, we also try to influence a lot the school teacher and the school principals, and through them we get them to do something. For example, the schoolyard and improvements. They really do some improvements that will affect the ways that the children are brought to school or are coming to school. So there are also that kind of harder measures in this. There can be. It depends on. We usually give the children a lot of freedom to choose what is the project that they really want to do. So one project per year. So next year they can do it. If they see that when they do just only communication 1 year mainly, then next year they see that they can do something more.
Okay. Mario asked the question, do most of the teachers walk and cycle themselves?
No. No. Not usually. There can be some good examples for the children, but unfortunately, especially if they come from a longer, if they have a longer way to their work, then they might take the private car. It depends.
Okay. Ilmar asks a question, what about local municipality? Do they listen to the recommendations made in the travel plan about improvements to traffic environment?
I hope so. I hope they do. Well, for example, there's this in one school, the children wanted the project was that they made a video about they wanted to get a sign near school where the drivers are where there's a picture where it shows that there's a school around. They wanted that kind of sign near the school, but that didn't, unfortunately, they didn't get the sign. But at least they got the good, they were told why in that particular place and road there's no use to have another sign to show that there's a school nearby. So then they learned something about traffic planning.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe, yeah.
Okay, and Anna Baklin, she has put down a link, and I assume that is a transport planning for schools in Sweden. But I noticed that Ingrid said that she is interested in the Swedish link. So I'm not sure if this is the link or.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, good. Then now, then Ingrid has the link. I don't have any further questions, and I'm not sure if any of the. A final question: are there also measures to make it physically harder to go to school by car?
In Helsinki region, no, not yet, at least, unfortunately. There are very different kind of schools. In some schools are located in a place where it's not very convenient to go by car. It's easier to go use public transportation, walk or cycle. But some of the schools have big parking places and so on. So and those kind of restrictions we haven't tried yet.
Okay. Ilmar put down the question, what other cooperation is there with the municipality traffic planners? And do children usually get to meet traffic planners or representatives of local government?
Yes. In our program, there usually is at one of the workshops there will be traffic planner attending, so that is so they can communicate and talk about the problems that that they are facing in the schools.
Okay, that's good. Mario asked if the city has adopted a travel plan, a mobility plan. Is there any relation between the school travel plan process and the sustainable SUMP planning?
I'm afraid I cannot answer that question. I'm sure if there is a SUMP, I'm sorry.
Because you don't know.
Of course, I don't know. Of course, there should be.
Yeah, well, probably if a city, then someone from the municipality should know about, and then when he is involved with a school travel plan, then he should know. You can assume that, but
yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes. Yeah, some cities make yeah, they are very, the cities and municipalities, they are very aware about the problems that there are in the school ways, school journeys, and they make their best so that the school journeys are safe for the children, so that the children can go by foot, for example.
Okay. Okay. I see that it's 1:15, so I'm going to end this interesting webinar. And I see also a note from Antonin. He says, thanks for this excellent meeting and sharing this information with us. So, well, I cannot say any more. Of course, I want to thank you, Mirva, for your presentation. Thank you to the audience for participating and for asking your questions. If you have any questions left, within a few seconds, you will get a feedback form, and I would like to ask you to fill in the feedback form. If you have any questions left, you can put them in there too, and then I will forward them to Mirva so she can answer them. Thanks for your time, Mirva, again, and I wish you all a very nice afternoon, and see you next time at an allinx webinar.
Thank you. Bye-bye.